Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the
Hot Wet Soup.
God damn it!
Oh, it's so hot.
Stop!
Yeah.
Oh, stop!
It's so hot. I guess there's some tomatoes in
God.
it.
Well, yeah, that's
starting the shit off with
I
some
guess
fire,
that's
boy.
it. I guess that's it. I guess it's the intro. There's Elvis the Alien and Leon. Who gives a shit? So today's been a pretty eventful, in a negative way, day.
Oh, yes.
Or night. A lot of bad stuff has happened with it's a confirmed terrorist attack now, right?
Yes.
He is.
In Manchester.
Yeah, in Manchester
At the
an Ariana
Yeah.
Grande concert.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I don't know why, but so many people are well, I mean, it's the internet, so obviously that's why. But so many people are making.
We should probably explain what's going on. So apparently, 19 people were killed and 59 others were injured. At least that's what I'm reading from this from the New York Times.
Oh, it's 59 now. I thought it was only 50.
Yeah. So I think it was like, what was it, a suicide bombing at the concert or something?
I don't know if they know for sure. They are saying it looks like it might be that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was it.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like shrapnel bombs or I haven't really read the confirmation on what kind of bombs it was. But
And then
yeah.
Ariana Grande tweeted out, broken from the bottom of my heart. I am so sorry I don't have words. But
Yes.
then VWQ on Twitter thought,
did.
Wait, did you guys see that shit?
I did.
Between
Yeah.
him and Keemstar?
That's
Oh
a
my
whole.
God,
That's
so
a whole
stupid.
nother.
See, honestly, like I'm just pretty pissed off about it in general. Like, sure, VWQ made a mistake and he didn't realize the tweet was
Well,
Well, that's
not
what he
the
says.
current-
Yeah,
That's what he
there's
says.
two sides of the coin. Though, did he make a mistake?
I mean, do you really think he
Well,
would make
we're
a
talking
joke
about
like
it before
that?
we're telling anyone what happened. So, like,
Yeah.
basically, he.
Well, yeah, we're gonna.
There was a
go
tweet
ahead.
from 2011 that Ariana Grande made that said like "boom boom" or something, right? And,
Yeah.
And he
And
quote,
it was
quote,
like-
he quote retweeted it and said, "Well, this is really insensitive." Blah blah blah. Dot dot dot.
because he didn't read the
Stupid.
date.
Well, he didn't read
And,
the date, but obviously, like,
But the thing is like, because
Come on.
Keemstar made a tweet saying like, well, first of all, it's retarded that he like got that tweet. Like, who fucking cares?
Oh, yeah.
But
The whole
like
thing's
you
so
know, you
stupid.
have to make it about fucking your personal drama. I mean, people dying. You know, let's take that and make it about personal drama. Am I right? But
well, the idea was that the idea that Keemstar was trying to say is that he did it as a joke, and then when he got a bunch of backlash, he came out and was like, "Oh, well, I didn't notice the tweet was from 2011, and it was somebody, you know," and people are like, "Oh, you had to go digging for it." It's like, no, obviously someone probably retweeted it, and it was on his timeline. And I've
Yeah,
made
'cause I saw that tweet
I've
everywhere.
made the mistake myself where I'll see someone retweet a tweet like with like a Donald Trump something like I used to make
Yeah.
this mistake. I don't make this mistake anymore because once fool me once, fucking shame on me. But well, you'll see this tweet, you're like, "Holy shit, that's so terrible or insensitive or so relevant," and then you realize it's from 4 years ago, and you're like, "Oh, okay, now I get why it was retweeted."
Yeah.
But I don't even if that was retweeted on your timeline, you see Ariana Grande make that tweet. You can't think like, "Oh man, what a fucking bitch! I'm gonna retweet this and say it's insensitive." Like, obviously, she didn't tweet that. Come on. That's my opinion.
yeah, it's.
But then if you're going to do it and make a joke about it, like, then stick to your guns at least and just be like, whatever, I made a joke. Big deal.
I don't know. Like, I feel like Keemstar shouldn't have done anything about it.
Well, it's
like,
Keemstar
why
we're talking about
just
here,
make
Pig.
it-
Come on.
I know. But
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn, it's just
So many
and-
people.
The
it's
best
just the timing, like the shit just happened tonight, and
Right.
they're making drama out of a fucking tweet about it. Like,
Yeah, it's so sick.
God, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So
well,
many people are, trolling and about the
yeah.
situation. It's so fucked. Like,
Well, this
you can't wait a couple days.
It's literally like just happened. Well, it kind of all comes back to like, I don't know, like joking about tragedy jokes essentially, where like comedians like Anthony Jeselnik, like I don't know if you know who that is, but like that's kind of like his bread and butter is kind of like the shock value jokes. And I don't know, like, so I think some of these guys are celebrated on stage, so I think these young kids, they think it's funny to fucking just say the most insensitive fucking fucked up shit you can directly after this is happening. I'm like, I'm not a fan of it myself, but I don't know.
It's strange. I just don't see how people can do it and not.
No, I think time desensitizes everything, though. Like we can joke about the Civil War, no one will give a shit because it was so fucking long ago. It doesn't affect any of us. Of course. But it's like, I mean, it does vary, and it varies depending on each person, and
Of course, yeah.
And some people's argument
when it's a fresh wound that happened like hours ago, it's just like,
okay, we should probably tell people like who's trolling and what they're doing and shit. So there's this one post going around. I think it has like 4,000 retweets, and it has all these people that are missing apparently from the concert.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, and apparently it's fake because there's the Report of the Week and Pro Syndicate on there, and it's like this meme, right? And Report of the Week even had to make a video that he's telling people that he's alive.
Yeah, and it's just called I Am Alive. And it's just a video explaining that, like, that post was fake. I'm alive. It's so strange.
It's ridiculous because I made a video about the Report of the Week, and I saw the shit. I'm like, oh my God, if this kid's fucking dead, I feel like shit. So I responded to the tweet. I'm like, I poked some fun at this guy. It was all in good fun. I think I really admire his channel and his personality or whatever, and I hope he's found because I fell for it. I thought it was true. And then I'm Alex tweets at me and he's like, dude, this is just a troll. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why?
Yeah.
I got like 4 people that tweeted that same tweet to me. They were like, dude, did you see the Report of the Week is missing? So I was like, what the hell? Seriously?
No.
And it's just so fucked up that people would think, oh, this would be funny.
Well, this isn't the first time it's happened. There's been multiple other terror attacks, specifically in Europe, where this shit goes on Twitter. Or I saw some shit on Facebook too a couple months ago. I forget what one it was. I think it was the one in Nice, France, where the truck just plowed through a crowd of people and killed a bunch of people. And there was same thing, just people trolling with like pictures of random people, like so and so like hasn't been found. If you like, please like share this so we can find them. And it's like. And then the people like the people whose pictures they use.
Strange.
Yeah, it's like what is the motivation for this? Like, what are you gaining from that? Like, you really think like people trying to get brand awareness from capitalizing on tragedies? I don't know. It's just so fucking.
Oh, do you guys remember that guy who shot the reporter and filmed it, and then it got on Twitter, and someone tweeted that video, and it got like 20,000 retweets or something, and then he commented on it, and he's like, that traffic though. He replied. Really? He replied to his own tweet, and he's like, 20,000 retweets though, or something like that.
I do remember.
Like, come on, bro, that's so fucked up. Like,
he got a bunch of backlash, obviously, and then he was like, oh yeah, the impressions though.
Like, that's the one thing you're worried about. Well, hell yeah! Get this to 1 million likes. Can we do that, guys?
Dude, it just shows how fucked it is. Like, that's the world we live in now. Is nobody gives a fuck about anything except their impressions and their fucking finding. I don't know. It's bizarre, dude. We're just a lost race of retarded.
We're all going
people.
to hell, bros.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you wanna mention the Oniisan tweet of him just trying to get relevant again?
You mean tweets? This happens every fucking time that
every time
tragedy happens.
Every time.
It's just like expected from him because he just wants to find a way to get noticed.
This guy's such a cunt. I can't believe it.
He's so desperate for relevancy.
Well, he preys on people's outrage. Like, that's his game. That's his MO. He sees a situation like this and he thinks to himself,
just an internet troll.
He meticulously thinks, how can I approach the situation in a way that will piss off the most amount of people by being super insensitive? And then
you really think he thinks that way? You think he like thinks that beforehand, like, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to...
No, I wouldn't give him that much credit. I think he's just genuinely fucking stupid and ignorant.
Yeah,
but
I would.
The thing is he. I think partially he really does believe in this shit, but at the same time he's like, I know this will get reactions, and I know this will get people talking.
Yes. Well,
you know what I mean?
I will say, not to play necessarily devil's advocate for Oniisan, but just on this kind of topic of, when tragedies happen, how social media responds. I mean, it's just very strange because in the last 10 to 15 years, we've grown into this world where everything is immediate and everyone can share their opinion on the spot and share it with millions of people. And so I personally, like, years ago when I used Facebook more, like, I used to get wicked annoyed when, there'd be a tragedy and like someone would change their profile picture, or like even Facebook even gave you the option to like overlay like a France flag on your Facebook profile picture, like to show your support for France. And then of course, every single time there's a tragedy, it's hashtag pray for blank, right? Fill in the blank. And like, that shit started to bother me where, there is a point, like, sure, it's normal to feel sad about these things, but like, is it really necessary to like constantly and immediately be tweeting like, oh, I'm thinking of you, or I'm praying for you, or my heart goes out? Like, for me personally, like, this shit it bums me out, and I don't really, like, any normal human being should be bummed out about this, so I don't think it's necessary to fucking tell everyone that you're feeling shitty about it. Like, obviously you are, unless you're some sort of sociopath, but then there's this huge gray area of people that like I feel like they think they're showing support by saying pray for Paris or pray for this, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, is it virtue signaling? Is it you fucking, are you doing it because you want people to think you're a better person because you're so devastated and shocked at this horrible tragedy, and your hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families? Like, how fucking cliche is that shit at this point? I don't know.
It sucks because it doesn't do anything, but I don't know. I really do think some people think it just makes them feel better. It makes them feel like they're, I don't know.
I think like that's what it is. I think it makes people. Yeah. It makes themselves feel better. Like you feel so shitty about this situation. It may give you. It may make you feel a little bit better just to share how terrible you feel about it, and then have people, agree with you and comment. And like, you're not necessarily doing it for impressions or trying to grow. I think it's just kind of like a weird coping mechanism because we're so ingrained in sharing in social media that this is how people cope now.
It's the same thing as, I mean, say you get in a car accident, you're going to tweet about it, You're going to be like, this fucking sucked. Like, I can't believe this happened to me. You're going to want to express that.
Right.
If something happens in the world that's, it's terrible, it's a tragedy.
Right.
If you're a human and you feel for these people, you're going to express it, just because people just like to express themselves. I mean, whether it be for impressions or whatever, I think most people don't do it for the impressions. I think it's
I agree with
yeah.
I agree with
at least I would hope so, I mean, you really got to be a heartless bastard to be like, oh yeah, this is a good opportunity for me to, get some more people looking at my shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think, but then again, like, if I hear what you're saying, where, yeah, it's terrible that all these big social media platforms are like, ooh, let's put in this stuff to kind of almost force people to share the fact that they're grieving about something, which is kind of weird. But at the same time, take it at the other end of the spectrum, say something crazy were to happen, like a bombing or whatever, and nobody said anything about it,
Right.
If everyone was silent, and it would just be like, well, that happens, move on. That's kind of, that would be even creepier and weirder, I think.
Yeah, you're right. It's I think we're just new. We're still, I think, within the last decade, we're still trying to figure out how to deal with tough emotions in a world that is so public now, where everyone's life is exposed and online, and everyone's opinion,
because
matters.
Normally, back before, I wouldn't say back before internet, like even like during early internet, it was just like they put like, it was on television, and then we just grieved among our friends, and we didn't
right.
like,
you don't have a way
post
to
it to where
you don't have a way to share about it.
We don't just like spam it on the internet like we do now. We just like we honestly, like, say if it was on the television, we wouldn't go up to our friends and be like, yeah, man, I'm praying for them, my prayers go out to them. Like,
I don't know. I might have done that. It's kind of like the same thing where like Like when 9/11 happened, I was talking about it to everybody, you know? And,
of course.
Yeah.
And but I see what you mean though. Like the things that are more immediate with you, like as far as your family members, your friends, if something happens to those people, you're more likely to express something about it or talk about it. But because, you know, you just have a deeper connection with those things.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I want to read a tweet from Oniisan. Yeah. So this is what he said. This is his argument here. He says, fact of the matter is that you tweet about deaths because they get you excited. Caring would mean tweeting about all deaths, as all human lives are inherently equal. But you mostly only tweet when the deaths are of celebrities or are achieved in abnormal ways, typically to larger groups. You are fake. Your sympathy is a lie, and if you really cared, your Twitter would be an obituary, not just a fleeting occasional bullshit statement perfectly timed after a horrible, well-known event, clearly pandering for retweets. This is one of many reasons I hate people like you. You can't smell your own shit even when it's falling out of your mouth. Okay, so that's it. But I think he's like that's obviously super pessimistic, that outlook.
Yeah, and the thing is I can like kind of get where he's coming from, but at the same time it's like it's a fucking terrorist attack.
Well, like, this is the thing is, so for me, it's, you have to delineate between two things. One is that his argument is that all lives are equal and every death matters, right? I get that. Yeah. But guess what? Some deaths and tragedies are just more remarkable than others, and that's just the way the world works. Like, obviously,
I mean, I'm not saying people dying from cancer is like no big deal, but I'm just saying it's like, you know, it happens like what he said, like 1,000 people die every single day.
Well, that was his thing. Yeah, he's like 1,000 people die of cancer every day. No one talks about that. I'm like, yeah, first of all, people talk about cancer all the fucking time. It's terrible, and all this shit. But secondly, it's like sure. So someone fucking homeless dude dying on a street somewhere in fucking Kenya is his life is important as his life may be, like. And if you believe his life is important as Prince's life, it's just the way the human race works. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more talking and a lot more tweeting and social media attention on a famous celebrity that has died, or a terrorist attack, which is a massive, senseless act of violence. It's just going to garner more uproar.
I don't really think any life is worth more than another, but lives have more attention than others.
That's it. That's just how it is. Like, it's nobody's fault. I mean, it's just fucking.
And that doesn't really signify worth as attention, but that's just like, you know, people pay more attention to other people than they would someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we talk about what we know about. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about Joe Schmo's cancer. You know, because I don't know Joe Schmo. I didn't hear about this guy. I have no idea who this dude is.
Right.
But I will talk about a terrorist attack that I know about that is terrible because it impacts me. You know, I think about that. I'm like, oh shit, that's fucking terrible. And I try to empathize with the people who are in that situation.
Right. These are just innocent people that were at a concert watching someone they love. That could have been anybody that was out at a concert anywhere. You know what I mean?
And to think like either you feel for every death or you feel for no death is such a pessimistic and just douchey way to look at it.
It's ridiculous. There's not enough. There's no one has enough empathy to be able to fucking feel pain for every death in the world. People are dying as we speak. But I'm sorry. I was leaning back from my mic as I was.
Wait, would that be it? Is it your volume? But like, is it your volume sensitivity? It like cuts out because you're too quiet.
On Discord, probably, but I fucking fuck it. It'll come through in the post. I promise.
Yeah, just stay close to the mic.
I'll stay close.
Do this. We should do this shit on Skype next time.
Well, there's a little setting sensitivity that you could, instead of doing auto, you could fix your input sensitivity.
Yeah, I probably should, or I could just stay up nice and close, just like this.
I also noticed that you were kind of quiet in the last one too, compared to pig.
I was? Well, that's just...
So maybe
that's just probably on me.
That's
then.
Pigs mixing, you prick. He's trying to fucking phase me out.
I'm terrible.
Is Zaptai coming back?
At mixing.
Is this my last episode? Is Zaptai coming? You fucking asshole.
Yeah. The end series continues.
I'm just chilling next weekend and I see a new episode go up. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember recording that.
It's with Bunty King instead. We're like, oh, welcome to our new host.
New beginnings again. Hello, my sweet goats. Oh, Jesus
God.
Christ.
Anyway, people dying.
Yeah, back to the morbid, terrible
soup.
bullshit the whole episode has been about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's shit. But I don't know. I just that people are making it about petty things, which is really unfortunate.
Well, I think it's ironic because Greg is using this as a way to get more retweets. You know, it's like, I mean, he doesn't. He might not be doing it on purpose.
Is he, or does he genuinely feel like he needs to express himself because he's so outraged that people are feeling sympathy for this?
I think he is expressing himself, and I don't think he's doing it just for retweets and likes. But at the same time,
he knows what he's
getting
doing,
retweets
right?
and likes.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think, and this is classic Oniisan. He does this every time there's some, any sort of tentpole event. This one happens to be tragic.
Thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's just a. I don't like him personally. I know people do.
Guy's a douchebag.
Yeah,
let's
fuck
be real.
him. Fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
But I think with tragedies, we get into the point where it's like, there's kind of like this chain of events. It's like tragedy happens. There's outcry on social media. There's always that fucking one idiot that makes the joke that's unsavory. And then there's the outcry from everyone else that's mad about this guy making the joke, and they quote retweet and they retweet, so he gets all this exposure. And then there's people that get mad at the people being angry over someone making a joke because, well, we should be able to joke about anything. And then it becomes this huge argument of like, are you allowed to, what are you allowed to say? And I don't know. It's just
we should talk about that. What do you guys think is like the appropriate time that you can joke about something, or if you ever can?
See, the the threshold, it always varies depending on severity of the accident and how funny the jokes are.
Well, there's obviously not going to be like a set time frame. I just think it comes down to fucking emotional awareness and having some sort of sensibility, and obviously every individual. Like for me, even now, for me personally, like I don't mind I don't mind when people joke about like 9/11 and shit. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but I wouldn't want to make a joke like that just because. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of people in New York. I know a lot of people that were affected by, a lot of families. I know people that lost family members and shit. And it's like, I wouldn't want to make a joke about that. But I'm not going to see someone make a joke about that and get offended about it. Of course, that was 15, 16 years ago now. But
it depends on like Pig said, it depends on how the joke is told. Yeah. It's like, it depends on how long ago the incident was.
I think wait a couple fucking weeks at least, to really make us
honestly, I feel like there's a difference between an edgy joke and just a joke that's just in bad taste.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you.
Because an edgy joke is a lot acceptable. Like, it's funny and it's acceptable, but a joke that's in bad taste is just a joke specifically made just because it's, shocking.
Yeah. There's you're talking about these bodies haven't even been put in the ground yet, and we're fucking making jokes on Twitter about it. Like, I don't know.
It's so fucked how people can make memes about this type of shit.
Oh yeah, and the next few days are going to be full of Manchester memes. It's going to be great.
It kind of makes my blood boil a little bit, how can you be so insensitive?
I even made a tweet, I made a pretty pissed off tweet, but I deleted it right after because I was like, I just don't want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't want to deal with those responses of people saying well, you're bad for doing this. Well, I'm not bad. You're the bad one. They're going to find some fucking way to turn it around on me saying that I'm saying something bad when it's, I hate the internet.
Yeah.
Well, I hate Twitter.
It's tough. Well, because you can never, the more you can't argue with people on the internet because it's just everyone's.
It's interesting from our perspectives in particular because we're kind of not really in the skeptic community, but we're in the anti-SJW community in a way. So it's like what we say is, we almost have a pass for edgy jokes to a certain degree. So it's like because we're kind of in that community where that shit flies, which is kind of fucked up. But this is in the community. This is the community where you see that shit happen the most, and it's
right. Yeah, I agree with you. There's definitely other communities on YouTube that are nearly like there wouldn't be jokes about this being made.
Yeah, I mean, you go to like the cooking community on YouTube, you're not going to see a single thing ever about like an edgy joke, No.
Yeah.
But I also think like if an edgy joke isn't perfect, then it's in bad taste. Almost, it's it's either
exactly. like it has to.
But that's so subjective though. Like I mean, jokes in general, humor in general is subjective.
That's true.
So it's like what is fucking hilarious to me, and the hilarity of it may supersede the tastelessness for myself. For everyone else, it could just be a cunt joke.
Yeah, I'm just saying for me personally.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
I agree
with you.
If it isn't 100% perfect, like if it isn't like a Louis C.K. tier joke, then I think like
well,
I don't yeah, it's not good. I don't like it. It just feels weird.
But,
it's awkward.
Well, it has to have balance. It has to have I don't know, like two sides to it. It can't just be people died,
it needs to be at least a little clever for me, like something a little clever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's been times in past tragedies where I'll see a joke and like I'll laugh a little bit and I don't know, like I'll be like, man, I'm like, that's fucked. It's very insensitive. It's too soon in my opinion. But it is kind of funny, and I feel conflicted. I'm like, is it okay to think that's funny?
People do have
this
tendency to laugh about things that are outrageous. You know, like if something is like, if it's boom in your face, like shock, like wow, it's like you're like, oh shit. So you kind of get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, some jokes work that way.
I don't know. The reason I'm not like, I mean, I do think it's disgusting for people to do it, but. Some people cope that way. Some people cope just making jokes about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people probably aren't that are doing it on the internet, but I'm saying that is a way to make it the sting, less.
I think it depends on, like, the edgy jokes depend. It's like, I've heard hundreds of racist jokes that were hilarious, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's tough. Like, it's really hard to make a joke about a tragedy that happened and
that's
have
what
it
I mean.
Be genuinely funny.
Racism is as old as time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're talking about like something like we're talking about people that were living normal lives that were just killed for no reason that happened a fucking hour ago. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me because I think that it all comes down to like empathy, and everyone has a different amount of empathy in their own lives or their own soul or their heart or whatever the fuck it is. And, I don't know whether it's, there's all different types of factors, how you were raised, how old you are. And I think for a lot of people specifically, and I'm not saying, I mean, this could be anybody, but I think a lot of kids in their teens now that have kind of been raised on the internet, and I'm speaking as someone that's turning 32 soon, but we're just so fucking desensitized now. This shit is every fucking day, whether it's someone being shot in the face on Facebook, whether it's, a live stream, whether it's a fucking terrorist bombing, whether it's, just 180 people were fucking blown up at a mosque in fucking the Middle East, or, 80 people shot with a fucking Uzi at a gay club in Florida. Like, it's just every other day. So like, I get it. Like if you're a kid and you're being raised in this environment and you're on social media all the time and you're in your developmental years, like the years where you're finding yourself and becoming an adult, and you're just being pounded with senseless acts of violence nonstop, like it's tough to, I get why people can joke about it and why they don't take it seriously anymore, because it's like, this is the new world. This is the new world we live in, where it's not even a shock anymore. I see this shit on the news tonight. Yeah. I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, there was a bomb at an Ariana Grande concert. It killed 19 people, injured 50. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
it didn't even really hit.
Oh, just another week as a fucking human being. This is the new world we live in, and it sucks.
Do you think the internet is like killing the humanity in our souls? Like the more that we're on the internet, it's like.
Well, I just think humans are killing our humanity.
Well, it's the access to it. For me, like, you know, in the last 15 to 20 years, it's like every fucking tragedy on the planet of 7 billion people that happens, we have instant access to. I mean, now you watch the news. Every time there's a fucking tragedy, you'll see iPhone videos on the news networks, because no matter what happens, there's someone there with a camera and it's rolling, and we see it immediately. And that's and you know, and the span of human existence, where however many thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years, this is like a new development in the last like 2 decades. Like this is brand new. This is a small.
Just imagine, like,
and we don't know how to deal with it, and we're slow. And
just how fast everything, like internet and everything, is moving. It's just weird to think where we'll be in 50 years.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the technological advancements like that have happened in the last 2 to 3 decades have, you know, dwarfed anything that's happened in the previous 2,000 years. I mean, it's just it's incredible, and it's growing so fast. I have no fucking clue, but one of those things is, when it comes to tragedies, when it comes to humans being fucking shitty, it's like we see all of it now, as opposed to, you know, 50 years ago, you know, you're raised on a farm and you're fucking milking cows. You didn't see shit. You didn't see fucking shit. You went to church. You knew your friends, and like fucking old Mother Hubbard fucking died in the town next to you, and it was terrible, and there was a funeral, but you lived in your own fucking world, your own bubble, and now it's all we see is tragedy. That's everything, because that's
it is true.
Like it's I don't know. It's, after thinking about it, it's just gross to think that the incident that happened today didn't really hit me that hard, because it's just like, well, okay, just another thing that happened, right, because it happens so fucking much,
right? And it you know, for me, you know, like, I live in Boston, and when like the marathon bombing happened, that was in my fucking backyard. Like, I was in a band at the time, and my band played along the marathon route, and I was fucking like headed downtown to, like, after we were done playing, to like get closer to the finish line, and all of a sudden, boom, this bomb happened. And like, that hits you harder because it's in your backyard. It's closer to home, whatever it is, you're affected by it. But, you know, it's to the point where, like, unless it's in your face, like, you just see it on TV, and it's like it's just another fucking story, you know, more people dying, more people being, and there's no way to fix it. Like, it's a systemic human condition, right? Like, people want to blame it on Islam, or they want to blame it on this, but it's just, I think it just comes down to.
It's hard to be empathetic towards a group. Like, if something happens to a mass amount of people, it's like it's hard for our brains to comprehend that. So we kind of just shut down and be like, oh, well, that sucks, and then just move on. But if we see one person and we see their emotion, then we can kind of absorb that easier, and we know that one person's struggle. We're much better at empathizing with a single person than we are with a group.
It's stories. We empathize with stories in people's lives. When you see this on the news, it's statistics, right? So, like, for me, like, if they, you know, when it hits me, oftentimes the hardest is if, like, down the road they come out with like a documentary, a special, where you get a real insight, and you get to know the people that were affected, and people that lost limbs, or people that lost a mother or a father, and that shit hits me pretty hard. Yeah. Because you're like, all right, these are just normal people like me and you, and their whole life was fucked because of some random bullshit fucking faggot cunt retard that thought it would be a good idea to blow up innocent people because he wants to fuck virgins in his afterlife, or some bullshit. I don't know.
It's just, God, I hate everything.
Good YouTuber. You should check him out.
We're all gonna die. Like, Jesus Christ.
Now, speaking of I hate everything, I was in his new video today.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Is I hate singing.
And he made an entire video about how he hates me.
How he hates you?
The singing pig. Well, that movie about the singing animals, right? So freaking ridiculous. Like the whole concept. I know this is like super off topic, but you said I hate everything.
Yeah.
But like, the whole movie is just so stupid. Like the fact that they're animals, it plays no part in the movie. Makes no sense. Like they could be humans. They could just be human cartoons, and it'd be completely the same movie.
It's just a movie of all singing animals.
Yeah. So the reason I was in that, I wasn't really in the video. I wasn't like a collab or anything. But he said, you could literally have anything in this video. You could have them be slimy balls of goo. You could have them be aliens. And then he put my picture up.
You made it.
But yeah.
Have
either of you guys seen that movie?
I have not.
I haven't seen it, but I saw his review.
Praise the Lord.
I don't know anybody that's seen it. I mean, aside from I hate everything.
Yeah, he watches terrible movies just to make videos.
Yeah, I know.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because he always has to watch these shitty movies.
I know. It's just like a couple hours of just hell.
Just torment.
I couldn't. See, that's why I'm so picky about movies. It's just like it's gonna waste an hour to 2 to even 3 hours of my life. Yeah, like, do I really want? I want to make sure it's a good fucking movie if I'm gonna watch it.
I always feel bad for like people who review movies, like a lot of movies, because they have to watch so much shit. You know,
yeah.
They have to watch so much crap. And then I get when they watch an actual good movie and they're like, this is shit, just because they're so used to shit that they pick out all the things that they see in the shitty ones.
That's why I think about people that do music or movie reviews, and even music reviews with like Anthony Fantano, obviously on Twitter. He's kind of like huge. Like for me, like movies and music, like they're an experience for me. Like I want to listen to music, and this is Aaron makes music and I do myself, so I get the objectivity of it when you're listening and like thinking technically about it, but sometimes I just want to listen to it to feel good, and that's the same thing with movies.
Oh God, yeah,
it's the same thing with movies, and that's why I don't like to review things or like because like I feel like if you go in it with the idea of you're reviewing it, you're kind of shutting off the part of your brain that's just there to enjoy a shitty movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because
that's why I like
I
like the Alien Covenant movie. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
I haven't yet.
But
a lot of people said it was shit.
Yeah,
too.
A lot of people were shitting on it. And I went in there and I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really watch the trailer. I was just because I didn't want to be spoiled because I'm a big fan of that franchise. But I went in and I was like, you know what? I know I've seen on Twitter that some people didn't like it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna go in and watch. And I watched it and I was like. And then by the end, I was like, well, that was fun. I like that. I enjoyed the experience. Like, I was immersed, and that's what I was looking for. And then everyone's, like, picking apart the story and the plot and all this shit. Like, it's not canon. It shouldn't be canon, all this shit. And I'm like, just watch the fucking movie. Just enjoy it for the fact that it's a movie. And it's supposed to be entertaining.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And I think it's... You just did the crescendo on me. I felt it.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is when I was in college and I was doing music, what we had to do for a lot of the later on tests is take like pieces from Mozart, Beethoven, and just really good classic composers and analyze every single fucking note, chord, progression,
brutal,
and write down what progression it is. Write down what each note is and what type of chord it is. Like if it's an inverted chord, if it's a seventh chord, if it's a, like all that different shit.
Right.
So every single time I fucking sat in my car and listened to music, I'm like, okay, that's a fifth chord. Right. They went to the tonic. Right. They went back to the fifth.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And it pissed me off because
it takes the enjoyment out of it completely.
Yeah. Like it literally took me like half a year after being in school for me to just stop caring about that because it was just like in my brain, I'm doing that 24/7 all fucking day for school, like trying to, figure out what things are. And our teacher even told us to do that. And it just took the enjoyment out of music. I even stopped listening to music for a while because I was just like, I can't, because it's just like every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, this is what's going to happen next. I already know what's going to happen next, even though I never heard the song, because that's what's going to fit in the progression. Just like, I
remember when I was in music production, the little bit of music, experience that I have was in high school and I took music production. But they did this thing where they taught us to like kind of pick out the different instruments in a song, where like you could kind of listen to the drums by themselves without really needing to listen to just the drum track.
Training your ears to
we were
hear
kind of
certain
trained
things.
to do that, where we could kind of like pick out the guitars, the bass, everything. So then, like after I don't know a full semester of this class, I would listen to songs, and it was hard. Yeah, like you said, it was hard for me to enjoy them. I would just be like, all right, now this is what's playing on this. This is what's coming out of the right speaker. This is what's coming out of the left speaker. Like, you know, you kind of just. You stop enjoying and you start critiquing and analyzing.
Yeah. And on that note, it's made and I've experienced the same thing. The more I produce and the more proficient I get in like Logic and making songs and just like training my ears with different frequencies, it's so much harder for me to enjoy like pop music, I guess, some music, but I've gotten better at being able to turn it up because I'm just listening to things and I'm like, this is so fucking simple and so dumb. But like, but it's so, but it appeals to the masses. And like, there are some people that are like, well, it can't be good if it's simple and dumb. But I always try to spin it like, listen, I get why people enjoy this, and I try to turn
chain
off
smokers.
Right. And I'll try to turn off my brain, that part of my brain, and just be like, all right, just try to listen to this and enjoy it. And I'm successful sometimes, and I can enjoy shitty fucking garbage pop music because I've trained myself how to. But it doesn't mean it doesn't fucking suck.
And like because I've come to realize, because I've done music for so fucking long, is always keep music simpler. Like never add that extra, never add the secondary melody, never add any extra overlayered synth. Don't add extra.
Right?
Just like don't add that extra chord in there. Like just fucking make it simple, because those honestly like the best songs in the world are the simplest songs.
For mass appeal. And it depends on your goal. Like, do you want to appeal to the masses, or are you trying to like write something incredible that will, you know, be fucking reviewed by some tech magazine that thinks you're insane, but you'll never make $1 off
like
of it.
Progressive.
Right? Yeah.
If it's progressive or something, like, but that's completely different.
The perfect example is fucking the new "I'm the One" song by DJ Khalid, which I did a little video on 2 weeks ago.
My God.
It's literally, it's just like a fucking 4-note bass line, and that's it.
That's what people want nowadays, though.
That's
you
it.
know?
The simplest. Repeated lyrics, simple production, like that. The easiest that if you can hear it once and then sing the whole thing the second time through, because it's literally 8 lyrics repeated over again. That's what keeps the world spinning, man. That's what people
just want something
to
dance to at the end of the day. You just want to dance to it.
Know.
You know, that's it. There's like, give me some simple ass beat and some super catchy lyrics. I don't care what the hell you're saying, and I'll dance to it and I'll like it. And I'll put on repeat for my friends.
That's why I'm having so much fun producing this album, because it's I don't have to worry about, because when I make my music, like I add a lot of extra stuff to it, but I'm starting to try and keep it, you know, simpler, because I always tend to add that extra something in there that it just makes it sound messy. Right. Because you can do that's the huge issue, is trying to make it not sound messy.
Right. More is not better in music sometimes, most of the time.
But like, and also producing this, you know, album, it's helped me out immensely with just, you know, making music and producing music, but it's so fun to make because it's so fucking easy. Like the last song I did, okay, but to be fair, the last song I did is the dumbest song in my whole album.
Yes,
but
I heard it. I concur.
Yeah. But it's good. I'm happy with it. But it only took me like 30 minutes to an hour to finish it.
Yeah.
All my other ones took a lot longer because, you know, I had to write. I'm not going to spoil what I had to do.
It's as good, if not better, than almost all of these mainstream rap songs coming out now, getting hundreds of thousands of spins on SoundCloud. Yeah. And you made it in fucking 30 minutes. 30 fucking minutes. It's on a computer in your house.
It surprised me.
Yeah. Just imagine if you had millions of dollars in a fucking studio. Like, imagine you could just pump out the bullshit hits with like the resources that some of these rich dudes have.
No, it's hilarious because like that site that you showed me and other sites like the site Splice and Synth Mob and shit like that. You don't have to know how to use Massive or Battery or or
none of our listeners know what this shit is.
They're plugins. They're like synthesizer
let's not
plugins.
Get too deep into music
plugins.
production talk.
But you don't have to know how to use them,
right?
Because there's millions of
you just download all the presets
already online,
of course, that
you can just look up and take, and then you're good to go. Like you don't need to know how to use that shit.
It makes me mad that people like DJ Khaled are rich and famous, you know, like have pretty much no talent. I mean, maybe he's good at talking to people,
but wouldn't you say that almost most people that are rich and famous and have the most followers and the biggest followings are the ones with the least talent, almost all of the time, I think.
Yeah, like 90% of the time.
Yeah, it does have to do with luck, but come on, all the dude does, I doubt he does any work aside from like when he's sitting there with his phone doing Snapchats where he's like, we're doing great things on Snapchat.
He says
nonstop.
DJ Khaled though.
I know, that's the only thing he does. Yeah. DJ Khaled! Like, that's the only thing he does.
We the best.
Yeah. And he dances around in music videos.
We the best music.
God.
Another one.
Yeah. Another one. God damn. God. I feel like Ethan Klein is like single-handedly making people more rich just from making videos on them or with them. Like Post Malone, for example. I think Post makes good music, though. I think their relationship is mutually beneficial. He makes
all right music.
I think Ethan's brought a lot of exposure to Post Malone, but also hanging out with Post Malone has done nothing but good things for Ethan.
Oh yeah, for sure. Time. Yeah,
it's beneficial to both sides.
It's like a real life. It's like a real life friendship collab. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. I guess that's one way you can look at it when you're at that point of success. It's like every relationship you make is a potential fucking collab.
I know. I'm just getting talked over. I'm sorry.
Fuck you, pig. You're done.
But I was trying to say, like, Post Malone's music, like, it's weird because I feel like he's talented, but he's not using it to its full extent.
Yeah, it is super simplistic, and it's down that same route where it's like simple beat, simple lyrics, like, you know, just
Have you seen the YouTube video of Post Malone? It's under the fucking YouTube name like Austin Post, which is his actual real name.
With the guitar.
Yeah, and he's like playing a guitar song.
Tell he's talented.
He fucking kills it. He's like he's super talented.
Yeah, he's definitely talented. That's why I'm okay with him. Like I like him and stuff. But I only listen to one song, so I can't really say that I don't like his music.
But that being said,
I could tell you whose music I don't like.
Who's this?
Is XXX Tentacion.
I've never heard a song by him. At least I don't think I have.
Can't keep my dick up my pants.
Don't do it.
Oh, that song. Yeah, I've heard.
He's so funny. You know what pisses me off is because I made a tweet saying I don't like him, and people were arguing with me to the T about it. Right?
Like, couldn't believe it.
He's a lyrical genius. He's so unique.
Okay,
like, are you fucking kidding me?
The worst music artist of our generation, or at least one of them, has to be Kodak Black. You guys know that guy?
I do, yeah.
No.
Oh my
I've heard
God.
of him, though.
He made a music video with the girl who did the Dr. Filth show. What was it?
The
How About that thing?
The Catch Me Outside girl?
Yeah, that girl.
No one knows her real name. Brittany something, I think.
Oh my God.
That in itself kind of just explains how trashy the music is and like how it's just so bad.
Well, I think mainstream music has gone from it's taken a shift over the years from like talent to ridiculous. Like the more ridiculous it is, the more remarkable, not necessarily in a good way, the more it's talked about. And, you know, in as much as, and the more it's debated, right? And that is nothing but good for the artist and the music itself. So, like, you make something fucking retarded, and then it's like everyone's arguing how bad it is, and then there's that small group of people that think it's great, and it argues, you talk it, you share it because you hate it, or you share it because you love it, and that's how things get famous now, and it's slowly become this pipeline of just shit being constantly pumped out because it's remarkable.
But then sometimes I think it's way more beneficial when the mass majority likes you. So it's like Kendrick Lamar, for example, his new album banged because so many people like him, and it was like talked about like crazy, you know. And it goes both ways. I mean, some talented people do just get
famous for being talented, but that's rare.
I was gonna say, yeah, that still happens.
So rare.
It doesn't happen as much but it's when it happens, it's beautiful and so fun to see and watch.
Yeah.
When it's
and then everyone says, well, they're just overrated. It's just like, well, I don't even like. I think it's stupid if people say they're overrated, because if you look at fucking people who are actually overrated, like,
oh yeah.
Well, when people say people who are talented get famous, and then they say, well, they're just overrated, I'm just like, fuck you. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a difficult it's a tough conversation, because music, like as any entertainment, jokes is all kind of subjective, but I think there has to be some
people just like grinding on other people. That's what tends to be the selling point.
There is.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't do something, then you hate on other people because they can do it. That's pretty much how people work.
Kinda,
you know? If you're not a YouTuber, it's really easy to shit on YouTubers for having a super easy job and always just sitting around doing nothing. When you don't do music at all, it's really easy, like me, for example, to shit on someone who like spends all their time doing music.
Right.
And it might sound simple to me, but I don't know. It could be super complex on the other end. I was like, but. Yeah, I mean, you really don't have the right to complain. You can complain, obviously, and you have the right to, but I would say you should check yourself when you complain about something that you're not really familiar with.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's the difference between being a critic or someone who practices what they're criticizing, and even with music as an example. So, I was just gonna say, like, even as easy as some of this music might be to make these days, like, it's not necessarily easy to take that and run with it and create an image for yourself and a profile and become fucking popular. That's tough, regardless of how shitty or good your music is, I guess. So you gotta give some respect, I guess, for that. But
yeah, I mean, it's tough to be seen as cool, quote unquote, in any sort of facet of arts, whether it be music or YouTube or movies or whatever. If to be seen as cool is really hard in itself.
Yeah, so, it's a formula that's much bigger than the content itself, I think.
Yeah, you got to manipulate people.
Art's like so objective, like, because one of the Tentacion guy's songs, like, because his guitar was like a little bit off tempo and it seemed like it was a little bit everywhere. And I said something like, well, he just seems like a 5-year-old who just figured out how to make music. And, people got pissed off about it. And it's just the whole concept of, say a 5-year-old kid gets a bunch of paint and then throws it on a canvas and then ends up selling it for millions of dollars because they say it's some famous artist.
Sure.
It's just like... art is so... There's such a line between art and just bad. Honestly, like it's
bad.
It's subjective, but people think because it's unique, because it's off, because it's different, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, like, I would say being cool is way more powerful than the actual art itself. Like, if something is flourishing because it's popular and it's trending and it's unique, then that in itself is like, it's a perfect example of this would be Tyler, the Creator. When he first came out with Goblin, the song Yonkers, for example, like, people haven't really heard something like that before. And his whole approach with the music video, and then the way he dressed and his whole image, and then he was unique, and a lot of people thought that he was cool. So I think that drove sales more than his actual music.
Yeah.
His image.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, uniqueness can be good and uniqueness can be bad, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. You can fuck yourself in the ass with that, too.
Yeah. Because, a lot of musicians just tend to try and make their music as weird as possible so it'd be different. Yeah. Not because they think it sounds good. Because, people think... Well, I mean, honestly, that is a good way to get noticed, is if you make something different.
Right.
Like something that you think nobody's ever heard before or something. But if you're doing it solely for that reason because you think it's different, then it's not going to be that good.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I think Pink Guy, or Filthy Frank's Pink Guy, got so big, is because he took advantage of this, like, really dirty music video, but at the same time being professional. Like, the whole thing where he's in a kitchen and it's really disgusting looking, and but at the same time it's like professionally shot, and the music is I mean, let's be fair, it's not the best, but at the same time, it's like catchy to listen to, and it's unique. And you listen to it, you see this weird dude in a pink guy suit, and you're like, well, this is something I haven't seen before. So you sit there and you watch it, and then you're like, well, that was kind of weird. Let me watch the next one.
It's just it's like a new experience. I think for music specifically, it's like it's a formula for successful music. It has to be something that's like familiar but also unfamiliar at the same time. That's the most appealing kind of music, because I mean, music is, there has to be elements of it that you recognize or you would immediately leave. But if you can incorporate...
A perfect example of this, as far as like YouTube goes, is How To Basic, because he took like the formula of just how-to videos, like how to bake, how to cook, all this stuff about how to do things, and he just slaughtered them, made them kind of hilarious and chaotic.
Made them funny.
Yeah, it made them funny and short and sweet and just really like easy to swallow, because you can't really look away when you watch one of his videos. It happens so fast. Yeah. So it's like he pumps these out, gets millions of views, because you have to share this shit. You ever see this stuff on Facebook? It's millions of shares, millions of likes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
he's got
that was
it
a
figured
genius.
out.
Yeah, that was a genius move on his part.
Oh, his shit is he's got the best
And
type
he
of
doesn't
content.
have to show his face ever.
No. You gotta take something that people know, like Leon said, and just fuck with it a little bit. You know?
Yeah,
make your own thing.
It's true with anything in music.
Like My Drunk Kitchen. What's her face? Something Hart. Hannah Hart.
Hannah Hart.
Is it?
Yeah, Hannah Hart. She made My Drunk Kitchen, which is like a drunk version of a regular cooking tutorial. Super simple idea, but she got huge because of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, it's just like, originality is just the art of stealing and then making it your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
To be honest.
Exactly right.
Because I even read a book about that. Like, it's not... See, it's stealing because you're not copying it. It's stealing because you're taking pieces of inspiration from different people and then putting it together and making it your own. Right. But copying is completely different than that. It's just, completely stealing their entire image and stuff. But, if you steal pieces here and there and put it together, then it's your own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, every chord progression of every song you've ever heard has been done before. I mean, it's just put out how it's done differently, I guess.
But you could still make it your own.
Exactly. And most of them are just rearranged versions of the same thing.
That's it. Yeah.
Totally.
I don't know. I feel like most big pop songs, I think I heard this somewhere, are like four rearranged chord progressions that just sound good.
It's called
like,
the 4-chord turnaround.
It's all the same chord progression. They're just in different keys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
1, 4, 5 minor 6, man. That's it.
Boom, bam, we're good to go.
Music people out there, yeah.
Got yourself a nice pop hit.
Put some J Beebs vocals over there. You got $1 million bucks.
Oh,
just say I'm the one 300 times, and your fucking biggest song of the summer. You're making millions.
Oh yeah, did you guys see Joji's live performance?
Oh my god, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was so... Was he like drunk or something? No, he was sick.
No. He just... Because a lot of people told me... Because a lot of people sent it to me. Because, everybody calls me a Joji copy. But, a crap load of people sent it to me. But it was like... Everyone said it was his first live performance ever. And that's got to be...
That's crazy to me that he's never performed live. Oh,
yeah, wow. I know. That's insane. But... That's got to be fucking stressful. Like, he has, 5 million subscribers and has never done a live show in his life and put out music all the time. Like, that's got to be stressful.
Dude, well, yeah. And from you, Pig, as well as myself, we've both been in bands, and I'm sure you've obviously played live and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
Like, it's a whole different story. So I can't imagine having a massive fan base before ever having stepped on stage to perform live. I would probably fucking
you could tell that his nerves were going too. And the crowd sucked.
Oh, I know.
The crowd
what the
sucked.
Fuck? They were talking amongst themselves and shit.
Yeah. To have that reaction during your first ever show, to have that reaction must suck. I mean,
God, yeah.
I mean, granted, he didn't tweet about it on his Filthy Frank Twitter, which would have garnered
Oh
way
yeah,
more
that'd have been
viewers.
a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, he just did it through his Joe. I don't know how many followers he has on his Joji Twitter. But.
And so this is him performing like serious music, right? That's what his Joji thing is.
Joji
Yeah.
stuff.
And the thing that I don't know why his little box annoyed the fuck out of me.
Why?
It's just like, why? Like you had a DJ over there doing your shit. Like, I mean, you could just sing, because all the thing did was just filter his vocals for a second.
Well, it gave him something to look at and like distract himself with, so he didn't have to stand up there awkwardly and look at the people who weren't paying attention to him.
I guess it makes sense, but like he only did it like a couple times. He just like turned the knob, filtered the music, and then turned it back, and then it was unfiltered.
And to the people who don't know anything about music, it gives the illusion that he's like doing something,
Well,
technical.
I mean, he is, but he's really just turning a knob.
The classic
it.
EDM meme was people just fucking turn the knobs.
They just like bounce around and turn one knob, and then it's like boom.
Mm-hmm.
And
like
the bass drop.
You ever see a live show with like Deadmau5 or fucking?
Oh yeah.
He'll just like press play and then just like like you said, turn one knob and headbang the whole time. He gets millions of dollars.
It's
for
funny.
doing this.
It's funny. Like you see him like touch some knobs here and there. Yeah. What looks like they're doing something, but they're really just touching shit.
I know. Yeah, they're not even touching anything.
I mean, like, there are DJs who legitimately do live shit and actually do stuff, and that takes a lot of fucking talent, to be honest. But like, I don't know.
Like using turntables and stuff. You mean? Like
yeah.
I guess I don't know too much about that, but
that shit actually does take a lot of timing and talent. And,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, just doing that shit live is, I mean, but to be honest, like, how are they gonna do live shows? Because I mean, it's already produced on their computer. It's like, just bring some lights. Let me put on a helmet and press play.
They got it down, dude. Like, they have the life. All they do is they make music in their bedroom. And then once they're done, they go on tour, put a mask on, and kind of dance around for an hour in every city.
Play at these
and you get millions of dollars.
festivals for millions of people. And not only that, but it's like you're your fucking own. You're by yourself. You're getting all of the money. You're not splitting it with 5 bandmates.
Oh yeah,
you're getting
you don't
the
have to have
whole
a
fucking paycheck.
Or all you have to do is just get your fucking mixer board, and you're good to go.
Being a
you boys
fucking,
need to get on this shit.
I'm saying, being a DJ or like an EDM DJ in the last decade is like Calvin Harris, dude. That's
the life.
That dude was making like $50 million a year, like in 2005.
That's the money right there.
Cruising. Fucking asshole.
That's why like doing. But doing like EDM music and rapping, like that would be the life when it came to music.
Yeah,
because a lot of rappers don't even make their own fucking beats. I mean, all you have to do is walk up there with a microphone, and then they even play your fucking song with your vocals behind you.
I know.
So you don't even have to fucking do anything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't get about a lot of rap is, why do you have to play your own vocals behind you? All you do is fucking rap.
Yeah.
All they do is
for
like
fuck's
half the
sakes.
time they'll just walk like up and down the stage going, yo, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
The hype man
But
is
like-
my favorite person of anything on stage. It's like the guy nobody's like the rapper's buddy who's just like swinging a
Oh my
white towel
God.
with a microphone
man.
going, hey, or saying the last word of every
yeah.
one of his verses, like the last word of every sentence.
Pig, if you ever go on
that's the
tour, you
best
gotta bring
job.
me as your hype man.
Oh, dude.
I'll be your hype man.
No, totally.
Elvis the hype
You guys should come with me when I go on, because I'm planning on doing live shows in the future.
Do it.
I would just see you would just be like riding around a hairless cat on stage.
I had like a big
Swinging a white
alien head
towel.
on.
Yeah. Let's go hype this shit up, guys. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I'd go to that. I'd pay money to see that.
All right.
concert.
Well, I think that's a solid podcast for today. You guys have anything else to talk about?
It was quite
AIDS.
That was last episode, Elvis.
Nice. Yeah,
It was
we're
quite
done with that.
quite a bipolar episode. It was super somber
yeah.
for the first 40 minutes, and then I feel like we ended on a good note, though, talking about
On a
music and
dime, I
memes and
flipped
shit.
that shit straight to the
Dude,
fucking
nice
IHE
work, Alien.
video.
You can't do a whole episode on fucking terrorist
Like
attacks.
no transition whatsoever. It was just like,
like,
by the way,
by
This
the
may be
way.
a little off topic, but
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode.
thanks for listening.
Bye.
Peace.
bye bye.